if nothing happens over this Epstein stuff, you may as well give up on politics. If the fact that we now have confirmation that what the conspiracy theorists have been saying for years is true, that Pizzagate is real, and that there's no such thing as left and right, there's no such thing as a sovereign nation, there's just ultra wealthy people exploiting the poor to the point where they can get little girls and do whatever they want to them on an island, and all the evidence of it can exist. And instead of there being any repercussion at all, it's going to be discussed a little bit by a few people on Twitter, and they're going to continue doing exactly as they did before. If nothing happens over this Epstein stuff, if there's no mass raids, mass arrests, mass public trials, you may as well just give up on politics. You may as well just give up. The system is so rotten, it's never going to be fixed. Even transparency isn't fixing any of this stuff. And the reason for it is not because the elites are actually so smart. It's not because they have all this power. It's because the crowd is apathetic. You care because you're on the internet, you're on Twitter. You might be watching this video on Instagram and you mentioned it to your friends sometimes. But by and large, nobody gives a shit. They've got us so distracted trying to pay our own bills, arguing with each other, have a problem with our neighbor over the lawn being mowed, don't like a black guy, don't like a white guy, don't like Mexicans. They put Bad Bunny in the Super Bowl. He speaks Spanish. That distracted most of you. What were you watching the Super Bowl in the fucking first place for? Who gives a shit? The fact that they can distract people so easily, they can divide people so heavily, means that most people at home are apathetic. They don't give a shit. If you walk around, I'm in New York now, you walk around New York and say, have you heard about the Epstein thing? Most people go, yeah, I heard. But they don't really care because they got to pay their bills and they have enough problems and they're stressed enough and they weren't there and it's someone else's problem to fix. They've got us so massively demoralized to the point now that every single conspiracy theorist can be proven true, and that you can know you are paying taxes to evil billionaires who intend on raping your daughters, and still no one's going to do shit. Nothing's going to happen. The system's going to keep on limping on, and you're going to pretend that this Epstein expose fixed something. Oh yeah, I'm sure Epstein was the only man who knew girls for the elites. I'm sure anyone who's been anywhere near the top, let me tell you, there's plenty of guys like him. Plenty. So here we are. This is it. This is the last stand. This is Geronimo. Alamo? What was it? Alamo.
The Alamo.
This is the Alamo. If people continue to not give a fuck, no point voting. No point left and right. No point anything. People don't give a fuck. People are busy. People got to pay their own bills. This is the world we're in now. The capitalistic nightmare has been built. Everyone's so distracted, constantly trying to make enough money to pay their taxes and pay their rent that nobody gives a shit. Even little girls get chopped up. That's the capitalistic nightmare. That's what we live in. Why vote? Why play the game? You may as well just get as rich as possible yourself. You may as well just give up on politics completely. Get as rich as possible yourself. Who gives a shit how? Get rich. Maybe if you're a good person, you can get rich and not do bad things to kids. But most of you fucking weirdos and perverts probably will. If Epstein messaged you back then and you had a little bit of money, you would have gone to his fucking island. All these fucking celebrities would have gone. All these streamers, all these fucking weirdos are all doing drugs and shit. They all would have gone. The world's fucked. The world's fucked. And if there's not enough good, honest, hardworking people to put up big enough fuss to make it clear to the elites that things like this are not going to be accepted by the herd, if the herd is going to remain massively apathetic to probably one of the most devastating and disgusting stories of modern times, then you can expect nothing other than eternal slavery.
Welcome to the J.G. Carrell Show. If you don't do anything, if we continue to allow evil continue to persist in our society, you're just going to be a slave. You are going to continue to be a slave. And Andrew Tate is absolutely right. It's not apathy. People are just struggling to make ends meet. That's how they win. That's how they win. They've destroyed everything. You talk to economists or you listen to economists, you read articles from prominent people that are in the economy of the world economy. They're all saying the same thing. Every nation on planet Earth is on the precipice of dying. Their economies are going to explode. How do you think that's going to look when the dollar dies? And don't think that it's not, because it is. Stop thinking that we're better than Greece and Rome. Come on, please. Stop. We spent ourselves into oblivion. We have all we are is paper currency. All it's going to take is a good segment a size of countries today just to snub their nose at us and go, we have enough between us to facilitate oil, gas, minerals, natural resources, food, everything. Let's just consolidate and make treaties with each other, and we're off the dollar. And then another one does it, another one does, and then we're dead. And the world economy is going to collapse. Everything that's happening with the Epstein files is intertwined internationally. We're focusing on America because we should, because this is where our families are. This is our country. It's our life. It's our history. We allowed a adversarial nation of Israel to use their intel agency, partnered up with our CIA and the knowledge of our government, probably MI6 involved, and those two countries that we know of, and probably England. So those three countries and those three intel agencies facilitated the abomination of young girls as young as 9 now, we're hearing, being raped, being tortured, having their blood drawn from them, and then ultimately sacrificed. They ate babies. They created beef jerky out of them. As they say, they call jerky, beef jerky. But if you asked me, do you believe what Andrew Tate just said in that video? Yes, I do. I believe that nothing will be done. I absolutely do believe it. Why do I believe nothing's going to be done? Because nothing has been done yet. Why would I continue to bang my head against a wall and think that the people over there care that I'm beating my head against a wall? Why do I continue to do the same thing and expect a different outcome? And by the same thing, I'm talking about banging my head against the wall, talking about it, exposing it, researching it, putting a spotlight on it, and nothing happens. In fact, the reverse happens. The people that we put the spotlight on get more wealthy, they become more famous, they have more influence, and their lives get better. It's a kick in the nuts. And it's hard for me because I am a stone cold law and order guy. And I'm telling you, there's no law. The order is you're going to shut up and you're going to work your ass off. And then these satanic pedophiles, our government, look, I know that Britain is a bunch of inbred monarchy type people. They're weird. I know we come from there, but I don't care. China, they're kind of weird. Japan, they're sexually repressed. Russia, it's very masculine, male dominated, kind of strange. Everywhere's kind of strange. But they're not the problem. We're the problem. We're turning this into this Epstein. We're trying to blame the Jews. They have fault. We're trying to blame MI6. Yes, they do. We're trying to blame the Somalis that are here stealing from us. And we're talking about all the third world bubbleheads that are mentally retarded from the Kastans and Africa. And we're all pissed off. We're all pissed off of hanging out, seeing Mexicans destroy our cities and Guatemalans and Hondurans, literally like locusts going through our major cities. But it's not their fault. It's our fault. I'm going to tell you exactly. And I love this guy, Jocko Willink. And I profess this to my son. And I do this with myself all the time. And it's called 100% ownership. Now, you don't have to agree with it, but this is how I run my life. I have 100% ownership. Are there things and people that are outside my peripheral and sometimes inside that I have no control over? I have no control over. There are things that begin to happen that I have no control over, and I'm watching the dominoes fall, and I'm thinking, damn it, here's the outcome for me, and they're not good. And then I try to beat myself up, and I go, okay, but ultimately, it's not your fault. These things happen. At the same time, it is my fault. It's my life. Whose fault is it? My son screws up. He goes, well, John said that we should do this. And no, son. This is your life. You're telling me you're so stupid that you listened to that stupid kid and you did that stupid thing. No, it's your fault. Own it. That's what men do. Our country doesn't own anything. We just keep passing the buck. Oh, all these people are ripping their genitals off and they think they're the opposite. Give them drugs and let's just affirm it. We have a secular state and God's being removed. Oh, it's okay. It's all going to be all right. Just shut up and keep working. Hey, stop. Israel and the Jews. What about Israel and the Jews? What about them? Hey, more power to Israel and the Jews. When they look at stupid Goyim that has allowed them to rape and pillage our country, then why wouldn't they continue? Why wouldn't Mexico, Honduras, Venezuela, and Haiti, and all the other shit third world countries, why wouldn't they push their undesirables into America? We haven't stopped them. We make this statement that diversity is our strength. We make this belief that somehow America became the most prosperous, the most economically dominant nation in the world because of immigrants, not the white settlers, not the white people that created this juggernaut. No, third world, mentally retarded people that can't read or write in their own language, have no job skills. Of course, their nations are complete shitholes, but somehow the same people that came from the same shithole countries came here and built the greatest nation on planet Earth. Isn't that interesting? Well, if that's true, and everyone's saying it's true, why do we have 55 million illegal aliens in our country? That seems absurd. If they're that prosperous, if they're that much better than us, then why don't we replace us all and bring 350 million of those people in our country? You see the absurdity of that? Because it's all a lie. America, we are in this position because we are a soulless, a godless society. You can pretend all you want that we're a Christian nation. You can pretend all you want. Go to churches across America. Go in the pews. Are they packed in there? They were packed in the stadium watching Bad Bunny. 100 million people sat around their TVs and watched Bad Bunny, and a bunch of homosexuals gyrate on TV, telling us that this is the culture. This is the culture that America needs to be. Not the plain vanilla ice cream that we were. Not the Wonder Bread country that we were, sprinkled with some blacks in there. No, we're too boring. No. Having the highest GDP, having the highest quality of life, the most educated, having the eradicated diseases, having the greatest culture and country the world has ever seen. No. We need to bring in third world hellscape retarded people. We got to bring in Latin America. We need to bring in a guy named Bad Bunny that's transsexual, and then he needs to go in there and on our white and black national holiday of football, Super Bowl, we need to bring in third worlders and watch them act like the animals they are, where it's all sexual and it's all now. We're to blame, America. We're to blame for everything. We're to blame for Epstein. We are to blame because we sat by knowing that we were having sexual perversions. We knew that there is children being lost. We knew Epstein was a vile, evil human being. How do I know that we know? We just got 3 million files. Where did they come from? Have you ever asked yourself that? We heard 2 months ago, 3 months ago from President Trump that this was a hoax and there's nothing to see. We heard from Epstein and Shapiro and that whole ilk. No, there's no files. That's stupid. We've heard from the DOJ. No, there's no files. There's nothing. We heard from Kash Patel. No, there's nothing. We have no evidence that he was trafficking children. 3 months ago, 90 days ago. And today, or last week, we get 3 million pieces of evidence stating the 180 degrees difference. Yes, Epstein was a child trafficker. Yes, he was involved with Bill Gates in the pandemic. Yes, Epstein was involved in the 2008 collapse, the financial collapse. Yes, he was in bed with all the bankers. Yes, he was eating children. Yes, he was killing and torturing children. Not even the worst is him raping underage girls and young women. Not young women, teenagers, and not even kids in double digits. That's horrific as it is. But he was killing them and eating them. And we knew it. Our CIA was involved in it. Our FBI knew it. So we go from 90 days of nothing, and all of a sudden we get 3 million pieces of evidence. Do you know how long it takes? I'm a law enforcement guy. I don't care if you give me 1,000 guys and I'm working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm not getting 3 million pieces of evidence overnight. I'm not getting it in a week. I'm not getting it in a month. I maybe not even get it in a year. And they have 3 more million waiting for us. So they sat on 6 million pieces of evidence. And the whole time, Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, President Trump said there's no files. There's nothing. In fact, you're stupid. You're stupid for thinking there's anything. Okay, hold on a second, Mr. President. I've been busting my ass for you. I've been voting for you. I've been politicking for you. I've been standing up for you. You ran on your platform as you're going to get all the degenerates, starting with the Epstein files, and now you tell me they don't exist. And now I'm going to play you a video in a few minutes of Marjorie Taylor Greene on Redacted this morning saying one of my last meetings with President Trump is he said, stop pushing against the Epstein files and demanding them because I have a lot of friends that will be hurt by it. There it is. Aren't you pissed off? Aren't you pissed off that you're finding out that you're discovering now that something I've known for years, like in-depth detail in years, that the vast majority of the upper crust elites across every sector of our lives are demonic pedophiles? Doesn't that piss you off? Doesn't it, at the same time that pisses you off, doesn't it explain what the hell has happened to our country? Honestly, can we all just stop and go, oh yeah, damn, that answers all my questions. Where did all the fucking money go? We're in debt $40 trillion. Where did you spend $40 trillion? You didn't. You stole it from me. My senators and congressmen and presidents are pedophiles. And you, the CIA, knew it. You allowed Israel and the Jews to come in and compromise my politicians to destroy my country. Can you imagine the deals that were made that were detrimental to the United States of America for decades? Do you think that the sexual appetites of these, and there's millions of them. It's not like we got a rash and we have like 100 zombies out there in Des Moines, Iowa. We're going to go kill them. No, we got millions of zombies across the globe, millions in America that are pedophiles, demonic, satanic pedophiles. They own the media, they own the entertainment, they own our politics and government, state and local. They're inside of our education. They are fucking everywhere. And you now know it. And you have to look at it. You have to. You're forced to. You don't have to react because you can still be the gutless bastards you are, but you have to look at it and you have to acknowledge. And you have to understand what I've been saying has been true as everyone else is. You don't have to like it. I don't like it, but I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to deny that it doesn't happen. I'm not going to deny that our nation is swimming in this shit. Think about what they've been able to do in the last month. They have normalized us on the belief and the understanding that Epstein and all of his people, to include Ludwig, to include Gates, to include Bill Clinton, and all the other pedophiles, that raping young girls, children, all the way up to teenagers, that's not that big a deal. You know what's a big deal? They were eating the children. Oh my God, they were eating. So you just forgot. You just got normalized to them raping 9-year-old, 8-year-old girls. Having girls, young women, 13, 14, 15, 16, having to be raped 3 times, 3, 4, 5 times a day. It's okay. And that's not as bad as eating children. Dear God, that's horrible. It wasn't all of them that were eating children. Well, how do you know that? Well, it wasn't all of them that were torturing the children. So some of them had sex with some kind of young girls. I mean, it's kind of consensual. You see how we're going on this? Do you see how this is going to play out? And that's why I say Andrew Tate's right. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing. Where are the fucking arrests? Why don't we have thousands of arrests and all those people but put in Guantanamo Bay and they're served military tribunals? We push them through. They get their due process. They get everything's protected by the Constitution, and then they get hung. Oh, all the evangelicals and the Catholics would be like, "Oh, we can't kill people. It says you shall not kill in the 10 Commandments." No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You've been lied to your whole life. It says you shall not murder. There's a big difference there. Do you think that God doesn't believe in capital punishment? Are you out of your effing mind? Well, these people can't. I mean, really, Jay, do you believe in child sacrifice? My first retort to that always is, we've killed 63 million babies since 1973. That's not, you're not telling me that's sacrifice? It's always silence and they yell at me or curse at me. I'm not making assumptions of what happened in his mansions or on his island. They state it openly. You don't think pizza means children? Do you think there's interesting when you look at Hollywood interviews like on Ellen DeGeneres or some kind of other show where the guests come in and they're making fun and they're talking to each other about pizza and everyone's looking around like, what in God's name are they talking about? Well, you throw the greatest pizza parties. But you love pizza. What are we talking about? You know, when me and my friends may talk about pizza, might be like, hey, bro, I went last night. I went and had a pizza at this place. Holy smokes, is amazing. Really? What's the name of it? Oh, it's over here on 119th and Metcalf. Oh, man, I'll have to try that out. Okay. Then we just go on our day. We don't sit there and go, but you like pizza better than me. No, because we're not talking. We're talking about pizza. They're talking about banging children, raping them. Hollywood people. Jennifer Aniston had a conversation with the Happy Gilmore geek. And they're bantering. Then we have the Ellen DeGeneres going at the Oscars, during the Oscars, walking around with boxes of pizza and offering pizza to everyone. Like, hey, take a slice. I know you love pizza. I know you like pizza. It's in our face. Do you understand what's happening? Do you understand that it's right in our face and they have to? That's part of the ritual is they have to put it in our face. It's a power move. But again, I'm going to go back to Andrew Tate. You're going to do nothing. America's going to do nothing. Nothing. I have so many clips to show. It encompasses so much. Like I'm going to show a clip of Nick Fuentes. And he has a different take than Andrew Tate. And then there's a whole plethora of massive influencers that I'm going to show that are beside themselves because they're new to the game. They're like just discovering it now. Just like Shipwreck that I played, the woman that's on X called Shipwreck. I played her video last week. I'm not saying, look at me, so glad you finally can make it, like sarcastically. Oh, aren't you? How do you feel being so stupid that you're fine? No. I was the same as these people coming in today. I just came in a couple years ago. So I'm not bagging on them. There are things that I came in a year ago. There were things that I've known about for 30 years. And there's things that I've learned 6 months ago that I start diving in and going, damn, how did I not zero in on this? So I'm not bagging on those people. I'm going to show you those too. It's like a multi-layer of awakening happening in the country. Some people like have PhDs in it. Some people are literally just got their degree from kindergarten. And they're waking up and they're like, oh, they're eating children? Dear God, what? Oh yeah. They're torturing children and they're extracting their blood because they believe it gives them life and keeps them young? Yeah. Wait a minute. When they're talking about pizza all that time, they're talking about what type of child was going to be delivered to them? Yeah. Wake up, America. Wake up.
This Attorney General, Pam Bondi, at the Department of Justice, she authorized a memo. She signed off on a memo that said there are no Epstein files. That was the official declaration of the Department of Justice. They said the files do not exist. The White House put out a press release that said the files do not exist. Not only is that a lie, and it is, there are actually 6 million files, okay? So they lied. They said the files don't exist, and actually what they said is the only thing that we have in our possession is child sexual abuse material. They said, we don't have documents, we don't have emails, we don't have anything. They said, you've seen it all. Everything that we have, you've got. They said, all that we have left is sexual abuse material that we cannot release because it hurts the victims. Remember? So the files do exist, and they lied. Then they came up with another lie to cover it up, and they said, well, we can't release what is remaining because it's all just going to hurt the victims. Remember that? They said it would be irresponsible to release what is remaining because that would only compromise the victims' privacy or safety. So that's actually an active cover-up. That's not like they were misinformed. They didn't exaggerate. That's not a false promise. The Trump administration engaged in an active deception and a cover-up. They also said there are no people that we need to investigate. They said there's no black book. There's nobody else that we're interested in. They said there are no other persons of interest or suspects. And yet, inside their own files, which they said didn't exist, they say that there are people, and this is their terminology, that are likely incriminated. So how are you not interested in any further investigation? There are no other persons of interest. The case is closed, and yet there are 6 people that we know of. We don't even know their names because they're redacted, but the DOJ acknowledges there are 6 people that we know of that are likely incriminated. So they lied about that too, and they closed the case anyway. So Pam Bondi needs to be impeached. You do realize that. I think this fits the bill for high crimes and misdemeanors. You lied about the existence of the files. You lied about unindicted collaborators and accomplices. There are people that you acknowledge exist who are likely incriminated in the files that you said did not exist. You lied in the furtherance of a cover-up. Pam Bondi has to be impeached. Kash Patel has to be impeached. These people have to go. They cannot keep their jobs. How could we trust that Pam Bondi's DOJ, which covered up the files for a year and a half, is now going to faithfully follow the Epstein Transparency Act and release all the files? How can the public have any confidence in this, that there's any propriety here?
They can't. You can't. You can't trust any of them. I want to show you this video because I want to bring it back to the time when Donald Trump basically mocked us all.
He did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the set?
Yeah, sure. If
Pam, could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
No, I'll go ahead, Mr. President. Here's the thing that we're having a problem with is we don't have are there some great things that are happening? Yes, I will agree. They are insignificant compared to what's happening to our country. Insignificant. Your tariffs, I love them. Insignificant. What you're doing with getting other nations out of war, seven different wars, as you claim, insignificant. Repairing the economy, insignificant. Trying to restore law and order, insignificant. Because the overarching theme is you lied to us, Mr. President. How do we know you lied? Because you ran on the Epstein issue, and then you called it a hoax, and then you mocked us, and then you called Marjorie Taylor Greene in to ask a question or to pressure her to stop going after Trump and go after Epstein because your friends were going to be harmed. Your friends. Are those friends pedophiles as well?
Jeffrey Epstein was supposedly killed. That's on an FBI form. That's not somebody calling in an anonymous tip or writing it on some deep, dark place in the internet. That's an actual FBI file stating what happened. And people are going to have to completely take in what they are seeing with their own eyes, what they're reading, and what they're being told. The reality is the Trump administration is not releasing the information. And I got yelled at by the president over this. This is why he called me a traitor. He called me a traitor because I would not take my name off the discharge petition, because I stood firmly and said, no, we're going to release the Epstein files. I'm standing with women who were raped as teenagers. I'm not standing with the government. I don't support the cover up of all of this stuff, whatever it may be. And the president got mad at me, and he told me, and I've said this multiple times, he told me his friends would get hurt. And that's
I'm going to stop that. I'm going to stop it.
And the president,
because I want you to hear that again. This is a major allegation. So if this is true, and I have no reason to believe Marjorie Taylor Greene is lying, why would she lie? Honestly. And I've heard her say this multiple times, and nobody's disputed it. So that means Donald Trump knew the whole time that this was not a hoax, that Donald Trump knew the people that were involved, or at least some of them. Donald Trump also knew that there were millions upon millions upon millions of documents, and he had Kash Patel and Pam Bondi go out there and lie in Congress under oath. I can't understand, honestly. I can't understand after everything that this man has been through. Stolen election, slander, trying to destroy his business, trying to destroy his family, then trying to kill him multiple times. This man wants to throw it all away for a bunch of friends that are pedophiles? If that's the case, he needs to go, and he needs to go now. That's a big statement coming from someone like me. If that's true, he needs to go. Do I think Trump's implicated in the Epstein? No, I don't. But he made himself a part of it by protecting his friends. Listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene again.
Whatever it may be. And the president got mad at me, and he's told me, and I've said this multiple times, he told me his friends would get hurt. And that's what he told me. And then we're seeing a continued slow walk and cover up of a lot of this information.
Going to hurt his friends. That's Marjorie Taylor Greene on a friend of mine's show, Redacted. I tell my friend, Chris from Sat 123. I always tell him, whenever I talk about your product, I need to just throw up a rainbow and a unicorn, because it's so vile that I have to promote your show, your product, and your company in the middle of something like this. But it goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. It's called being prepared. Go to sat123.com/JJ, sat123.com/JJ. My only ask, I'm not asking you to go buy anything. My ask is that you go to the website. That's it. And I know that they'll take it from there. They will take it from there. Be prepared, America. We are under assault. You know it. I know it. Sat123.com/JJ. They have everything you need to be prepared. Sat phones, generators, Faraday packs, ballistic backpacks, things that I have in my house because I find them, or I find their products that I need. Sat123.com/JJ. There is, I talked about this briefly, but I want to talk about it now. There are different levels of awakening. I find no joy, like Shipwreck and Clayton Morris, Redacted, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, Tate brothers, the Hodgkin twins, on and on and on. We don't take pleasure in being right about this. And I don't take any animus or show any animus to people that are now awakening. I want them. It's like being kind of like a Christian. When somebody comes into Christianity, you don't sit there. I don't care what they've done. You don't sit there and browbeat them. Well, you can't be here because no. You're like, oh, I'm so happy that you came to Christ and you're changing your life. I think that's beautiful. Same thing with people coming out from the demonic left and find their way back to, our founding documents and the belief in God. We're not going to, that's the great thing about our side. We're not going to shun you. We're actually going to embrace you. We're going to say, I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you see things clearly. Because once you see things clearly as they are, you can't unsee them. You can't go back to being completely ignorant and brainwashed and propagandized. You can't. And here's an example. This woman, I don't even know who she is. Somebody just sent it to me. They said, this is a major influencer that has millions of followers. She's obviously a very beautiful young lady, but she has millions of followers. Well, let's see what she has to say. But remember, she's new to this. You can hear it in her voice, how new she is.
Are we all seeing what's being revealed? Are we all paying attention to the things that are coming out from these files? Because I'm worried that I'm going to have to try and explain to somebody what I'm hearing and seeing, and I'm going to sound like I'm experiencing psychosis because I feel like I'm experiencing psychosis. I can't even sleep. I'm so fucking angry. I'm petrified. This is some of the most vile, most demonic shit I have ever even fathomed. Like, it is unfathomable. And I feel like people are not paying attention. I feel like we are underreacting. I feel like I'm very worried that when we are exposed to such distressing information, like we are being overloaded with the most appalling news ever, that we numb ourselves and we block it out because it's too much, which is like a totally valid human experience and thing to do. But like, we cannot do that. We cannot do that because like, are these fucking fucked up freaks like sitting there laughing, being like, well, everything's out and nothing's going to happen. And like, look, we got away with it. And like, we got away with the most horrifying stuff that it's not even humanly possible to believe that this is happening. Like, I literally cannot wrap my mind around the fact that these things happened. It is unconscionable. And like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Genuinely, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
That's a great question, ma'am. That's what we've been saying for a long, long time. What are we supposed to do here? You can hear it in her voice. I'm not mocking her. I'm not making fun of her. I'm not doing anything but just saying, welcome to the club. And you got quite a ways to go, ma'am. But you'll get there. Just like I'm on the journey too. I'm not in the end. I'm not at the end of the information rainbow. Man, I'm struggling to get it anywhere near the top. But that's where the change is, right? She's not going to be able to. You think that young lady's going to be able to forget about this? Do you think that the millions of people that follow her are going to just not hear it? That's not how the social media works. The major networks don't control the narrative. I haven't watched a prime time or hell, any kind of show. I didn't even watch 10 minutes of Fox News in years. But the ABCs and all them, never. I can't remember the last time I ever watched more than 30 seconds. Here's a guy that's involved in this, and he's getting deeper and deeper, is Sean Ryan of the Sean Ryan Show. I want you to just listen to him. Listen to his disgust and his exasperation. And this is the way Americans feel now. We're exasperated. And then there'll become action. And when that action manifests itself, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be violent. And it's going to be painful.
They are legitimately, proactively protecting pedophiles.
They are protecting pedophiles at this point.
By redacting the abusers' names. The White House, listen up, everybody. The fucking White House is protecting pedophiles. You hear that? They're fucking protecting pedophiles. That's what the fuck they're doing.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, Sean Ryan. How bad is it, though? How bad is it? Well, I'm going to show you 3 or 4 congresswomen that just tonight, or last night, came out from viewing the unredacted Epstein files. And this is this is Lauren Boebert.
Congresswoman, are you among the members who got to see the unredacted files today?
Yes, I saw some of them, not all of them, obviously. And I'll be going back tomorrow to see more.
Any reaction on what you've seen so far?
I think that there's folks who are definitely implicated and co-conspirators. And, I don't think everyone there that was talking about underage girls being trafficked are victims.
Got it. And do you support any clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell? She was saying that she
I do not. Okay. I think Ghislaine Maxwell should get more time, and she should definitely be in a harsher prison than what she's in. It's absolutely disgusting.
Got it. Thank you, Congresswoman. Congresswoman, are you?
Well, there's one. Let's show another. They're seeing it. They're seeing, and we're going to get into this, which drives me absolutely bonkers. But let's just keep going. This is Miss Luna. And let's see what she says when she comes out of.
well getting any clemency
Correct.
for her testimony. And why is it important for her to be held accountable?
Well, because according to the files that we all saw, she was engaged in the trafficking and also rape of young women and potentially children. I don't think that she deserves any special treatment. She's a monster.
And are you gonna?
She's a monster. And then let's go to a congresswoman from the very liberal, insane state of Vermont. And let me tell you what her name is before I play this, because I want to get her credit. Her name is Balint. Balint. Let's hear what Balint has to say about the Epstein files.
Have you had a chance to review any of the unredacted files over at the DOJ, the Epstein files?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I just came from there.
What can you tell us?
There's a bunch of sick fucks.
And I mean, anything more that we don't know? I feel like that's pretty well established.
I know. I think the part that is just so disgusting is that so many people knew.
Did he have any ties to any intelligence agencies? We've established some in our reporting, but wanted to know based on the
I
file.
only had about a half hour, so I'm going to go back again tomorrow. So
Okay.
mostly today, I was just trying to go through a couple documents that was particularly interested in finding out.
What were those?
One was related to whether or not Trump, had ever kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, as he claimed.
What'd you
And
find?
it's not true.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. Who knows? But it ain't looking good. As I'm preparing for this show, news tickers come out, and Pam Bondi says, I'm almost going to quote her here, if I arrested everyone involved in the Epstein ordeal, our systems would collapse. Let's go all the way back to the beginning of the show. We were told this is a hoax. Pam Bondi said that there's nothing here. After she said there's papers all over her desk and she put it in binders. Remember that fiasco? Kash Patel says there's no evidence at all that Jeffrey Epstein was trafficking young girls. Not only was Jeffrey Epstein trafficking young girls as young as 8 and 9, maybe even younger, we don't know. I'm sure we will find. I've spoken to people, I've spoken to at least one woman that was trafficked on her island. Wrote a book about it. Her name's Hope Green. Said the biggest, the most violent, the most disgusting monster was Hillary Clinton. Interesting, she hasn't been sued. Think about that for a second. Somebody said that I was raping and was a vile monster and raping young boys and girls. There would be a lawsuit. We were told it's all a hoax. And now we find out, well, Kash Patel, you lied. Pam Bondi, you lied. Donald Trump, you lied. There's 6 million pieces of evidence. Do you understand? I was in the United States Border Patrol. We had an evidence room. Then we take all that evidence into a bigger sector evidence room. We never saw 3 million pieces of evidence in my 24 years. So you know how big this is? And are you going to tell me that this is the only evidence that you have? Can you imagine what they're not showing us? And here's even a more pressing question. I just showed you 3 congresswomen. I'm sure they're intelligent women. But why do they get to see it and I don't get to see it? Why? Why are the Johns redacted? Joe Smith from down the street gets popped in a prostitution sting. Well, John Smith, his face is going to be all over the newspaper and the television. But Lugnick and Bill Clinton and on and on and on, why don't we see their names and their faces and their videos? because the whole entire apparatus is guilty. How do I know that? I'm going to just not go down the laundry list. I'm just going to take the latest piece of evidence. Pam Bondi, the Department of Justice Attorney General, just stated it. If I arrest everyone that's involved in the criminal activity in Epstein's Island and Epstein's files, the system would collapse. That means the entire system of the United States government, entertainment, financials, everything, the economy will collapse because they are riddled in evil. Satanic, demonic, child rapist, child murderers, child torturers. They run everything in America. And do you know what my response to Pam Bondi would be? Well, sweetheart, let it all collapse. Because if my option is it collapses or we stay the status quo and they continue get to kill, rape, and eat children, I think I'm going to choose B, collapse. Thomas Massey came out today, who Donald Trump is attacking. It turns out that actually Massey is the better man now. And Thomas Massey said, yep, Pam Bondi's correct. The whole system will collapse if we arrest everyone involved. Do you understand what they're admitting? Do you understand that they have been lying to you? And I don't think people are really dialed in on that. They lied. The director of FBI lied to you. The attorney general lied to you. The president of the United States lied to you. And now we're supposed to believe them? This is going to destroy our country one way or the other. It's either going to have everyone start getting arrested and things collapse, which I don't think will happen, or it'll be a slower roll to our death spiral. Because no nation can continue on like this. You think it is. You think that we're going to just continue down this road and it's all good and we'll forget it. And if you think, there's a great point. Someone brought it up today, and I was like, yeah, I was thinking about that too. If you think that all of these people that love to torture children, rape them, drink their blood, and then kill them, and then eat them, if you think that Jeffrey Epstein was the only supplier of that, you're the dumbest piece of trash I've ever seen in my life. There are endless Jeffrey Epstein. Do you think the CIA and Mossad and MI6 and England and Israel and US, you think they put all of their eggs in the basket of Epstein? Are you that stupid? There's Epsteins all over this place. Epstein was a facilitator of evil. Let that sink in for a second. You all think that Jeffrey Epstein is dead and he's burning in hell. I mean, we can only pray. And even that's questionable. But you finding some solace that the boogeyman's dead? Do you think he's the only boogeyman? Do you think the people that like to eat children are just going to stop eating children? That their appetite's just going to, and their sexual fetishes and all of their S&M and all that, that's just going to disappear? And they're going to go back to their white picket fence and enjoy normal sex with their wife or whoever they're with, and it's going to be all good, and they're going to watch, America's Got Talent and eat some popcorn? Are you that stupid? I'm not that stupid. I was gonna play this, but I'm gonna play it because I want you to see it. This is Lucknick. He needs to be gone. He lied. He lied about his relationship with Epstein. He lied. Why would you lie? If you ask me, hey, do you know this guy you used to work with? Yeah, Yeah, he and I would go out we'd go to a drink and have dinner. Our families would barbecue. Yeah. And then if I found out he was a pedophile, then I would say, well, no, I'm not. No, I stopped on this date. I just stopped. I never saw him again. Okay. I wouldn't. Or I said, okay, that guy's a pedophile, and I never stayed with him. I never saw a dinner, never had barbecues with him. And then you come back and you say, well, JJ, I have pictures and stuff. You're going on vacation with their families. Oh, yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just a liar. Yeah, you are, Mr. Lugnick. And I was a supporter of yours because you're working on the commerce and increasing our wealth. But see, I'm not like everyone else. The wealth is secondary. It's insignificant when we have child rapists and pedophiles. And watch him. He's extremely uncomfortable as they ask him the questions that I just asked and stated.
People about your interactions with Epstein? Did you have any financial involvement with Jeffrey Epstein? Why did you keep contact with Jeffrey Epstein after he pled guilty to sex crimes?
Come on, give us some space.
What do you say to the Democrats calling on for you to resign?
Give us some space.
Mr. Epstein, people of your level in the British government have been forced to resign. Will you resign?
Give us some space. Give us some space.
Why did you keep contact with Jeffrey Epstein after he pled guilty?
I look forward to testifying today.
Did you mischaracterize your relationship with him?
Some space.
Why did you say you found him gross but still kept in contact with him?
What do you say to those who are calling for you to resign now?
Are you willing to speak to
Mr. Lugnick, that question needs to be answered. After you found out that he was a pedophile and you said he was disgusting, you and your family went to his island. You hung out and were friends and vacationed at the home of a pedophile. Now, I understand he brought his children. I don't know what ages his children are. However, I'm going to make the assumption when this happened that his children had to be young. Why would you bring your children? Hell, why would you bring your wife to a sexual deviant's home? Just a question I like to have answered, but you won't because you're gutless and you're a liar. None of this is going to change. I've talked about this, and I still believe none of this is going to change without God. This whole revolution that is going to happen, it has to, because you can't go down this road without this happening. And it's going to be led by God, because that's the only way we're getting out of this. I'm not talking about being an evangelical Christian and a Zionist and turn the other cheek Catholic and get on your knees and pray all day and night. No. I don't believe in that type of Christianity. I believe you're on your knees praying for strength and guidance and wisdom. Then you get off your knees and then you get to work, whatever that work may be. But that's the God that I believe is going to lead us. Not the impotent gay God, but the strong, the man that is vengeful, that will eradicate entire civilizations. That God, he's going to lead us.
Ben, so listen to me now. We told you this a long, long time ago that this was happening. Marina Abramovic, you remember her? The spirit cooking, the parties, the art. You remember? Y'all called us crazy conspiracy theorists. He said that stuff wasn't real, that it was just all for show. But it wasn't. It should have been a big wake-up call for everybody, but everybody still slept through it. And all the high-level celebrities that were part of it, all the politicians that were part of it. It's satanic ritual, and it's been happening forever. This isn't new, and we were not joking. And now more people are starting to learn that at the highest levels of our government, we have pedophiles who worship Baal. We have cannibals who do these ritualistic sacrifices. But why would they tell us this? Why do they give us these breadcrumbs? Because to them, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them. The larger population isn't going to do anything about it, and they know this. It'll be a small collective of people calling them out. Each and every dirty politician, celebrity, music artist, whatever they want to call themselves, who worship a failure of a God, that defeated enemy that already lost, and all the disgusting things that they do.
Yep. get up off your knees and get into the war, because it is a war. Are you going to fight or are you not?